Good morning, guys. My name is Phil. Welcome back to Miranda Detailing. So in today's episode, we're working on this 2019 Mercedes GLK. It's in for a new car prep and ceramic coating. Now, like I usually say in many of the videos, I say new car prep. It's not a brand new car, but that's just the name of our service because we treat it like a brand new car. We wash it, we decon it, we do a paint enhancement, and then we apply a ceramic coating. That's basically what that includes. And of course, we coat the glass, the windshield, the face of the wheels, the plastic trim, so all the little things in between. And if the customer wants, we can add in the full interior detail as well as interior coating. So fabric and carpet protection, as well as leather and plastic protection. Those are all add-ons that customers can add in if they so choose. But we're doing the exterior here, and as you saw, we did the full wash process, and it didn't have a ton to remove as far as bonded contaminants, mostly on the top surfaces, but they were easily removed with the mitt. So now the paint is nice and smooth, but man, this thing is swirled up. With the paint enhancement, we're trying to achieve 50% and up. Depending on the paint, sometimes it can be more, or at least that 50%. And that's what we tell the customer. This is not a full paint correction. This is a daily driver, so we're not going for perfection. Because black vehicles like this, if they aren't garage queens, then they're going to get swirled up again over time. So why spend that money to do that? I do not encourage people, especially my customers, to go full paint correction. If it's a daily driver, it's just a waste of money and a waste of time, and it can diminish the clear coat far too much. You don't need to do that. That's only for people who want to do that. If you make sure you have plenty of clear coat and you're shooting for perfection, great. But that is not a standard for detailers across the board. A true detailer should know the vehicle, understand the paint, and not try to shoot for perfection, especially if one is running a business, because you will run into problems. So many detailers are now teaching paint preservation instead of paint perfection. If you want to go for perfection, that's up to you. Go for it. As a business, as a real detailer, no. I'm going to discourage customers from doing that and fellow detailers from doing that. In our training, our detailing workshop, if you're interested in that, check out the information down below. That's what we teach. Paint preservation, work safely, and don't go overboard. So guys, before we get into this, if you are enjoying these videos, and I hope you are, consider subscribing and clicking that bell so you don't miss stuff. So let's get into it. So here are a few of the polishes we're going to be trying out. So I have some newer ones here, the Rupes Pure and the DA Fine. Now, I don't have the pad that goes along with the Rupes. I'm using the Orange Lake Country. So we're going to try that combo out and see how it works. I already did a test spot using another polish, this one from Extreme Solutions. And let's show you the results. So this is just doing a few section passes, and that is the result. Pretty awesome. I am extremely happy with that. This is what it looked like before. Yeah. I'd say that is definitely 50% and up. That's probably around 75%-ish. So not bad at all. This has some other defects going on. Got a little bit of pitting going on, and it still has a few little light swirls, but remember, we're not attacking every single swirl because this is a daily driver, and we already talked to the customer and let them know that we're shooting for 50% and up. And the customer knows that and understands that, and she is certainly expecting better than that. That's what that is. Yeah. Huge improvement. So, that was using the Extreme Solutions Flawless Cut. This is a diminishing compound in polish, and I'm usually not a fan of that, but this is pretty fast acting. It works really quickly and diminishes quickly, so you don't have to do a billion passes. You just do like 2 or 3, maybe 2 slower passes and 1 quicker pass, and you're good to go. And that is the result. Now, I'm going to try a few other things. You've seen me use the NSP polishes before. These are finer polishes. I'm going to try to get the medium one. This is the fine one, the 45. This is the fine polish. They have 3 grades. So, yeah, the finishing. So I want to get the medium one and try that. And depending on how the paint reacts as we go panel to panel, we'll try different things. This is, again, one of my favorites. We've been using this a lot lately. It is awesome, awesome stuff. But I will be playing around with these polishes too. These are made for soft, delicate paint. These two especially, actually this one especially. Cool thing about this one that I've researched is you do not need an IPA wipe down. Kind of like the NSP polishes. It leaves nothing behind and you can coat right over it. So that's pretty cool. So I'm going to try that stuff out as well. Let's continue with the polishing and we'll show you the results. So we're making our way along the sides here, and they are really bad. They're even worse. And this paint is so weird. So here's a classic example of working with the regular pad and polish combo that we've been working with, and something changes. All of a sudden it's like soft paint. So now we have to kind of change up our, what we're doing, our method, because now we're gonna have to go back over this with a fine polish. So yeah, sometimes that just happens. We've tried all the different combos and this paint is just frustrating to work with. So even with the orange pad, it's doing that. And I've switched over to the one and done compound, and that's how it's cutting. It's cutting like a super heavy duty compound just with the orange pad. Weird, right? So that's just what happens. So we'll change up our method. We're going to basically kind of cut all of this quickly because it cuts pretty fast from what I can see, and then we'll go back over it quickly with a light polish. So sometimes our paint enhancements turn into a kind of a two-step, but not really. We basically do what we need to do to get the paint looking decent. Now up here it's looking much better, but it still needs to be refined a little bit, but it is looking much better. See, here's a few little areas that kind of micro-marred from the cutting stages. So yep, even here we need to go just a little bit more, just a little bit further to get it to a reasonable degree. But it's working. We're getting there. It just sometimes takes some time, but it is looking way better than what it looked like before. All right, now we're almost done with the cutting stage. I'm calling it a cutting stage because that's initially what it is. But now we're finishing, and here's our combo. Here is the winning combo. A soft black pad. This happens to be the Gtechniq one. This is actually one of the better ones, I think. This one works awesome. And the Gtechniq M302. It is perfect for soft paint. Finicky pillars, like we did over there, works perfectly. So now, oh my goodness. Yeah, that is incredible. So way better now. And it doesn't really take that much, but you can see there's a little bit, let's see if we can focus in here. All right, you can see it's kind of hazy here. You can kind of see that. But when we go over here, that haziness goes away. And you're left with, you know, there's some light scratches and little chips and pitting. But now you can see that because the paint is so clear. It looks so good. So I still have to finish down this side, and if we look at where I just started finishing, over here, you can see there, look how nice and crisp it is. And over here, hazy. It looks like I did a compounding stage with a microfiber pad, but I didn't. Just the orange pad. But now, over here, it's crystal clear. No hazing. It looks incredible. So over here we have hazing, and over here we have the finished polish. Wow. Yeah, so this paint enhancement has turned into a little bit of an extensive paint enhancement. Almost like a level 1 kind of paint correction. But sometimes you just have to. This paint is so finicky that it turned into that. But whatever, that's okay. It's turning out incredibly well. So very happy with this combo. I need to get more of these pads. These pads are better. I'm using a Black Lake Country and it's working. It is working, but I think these ones from Gtechniq, they're a little bit more expensive. But these ones work even better. So I'm going to invest in some more of these. But soft black finicky paint, this is amazing. The Mercedes is pretty much done now. We just finished some of the trim in the wheels and the tires, and we're just finishing up some of the glass. The paint looks good. It looks way better than it was before, but man, this paint is finicky. It's annoying. So our kind of paint enhancement single stage wasn't quite working. It was cutting like it was super soft, but it wasn't getting out all of the defects. So I don't know. It was weird. Weird paint. So we just had to keep switching things up, but eventually we got there. And what we ended up using was multiple things to cut it. That really didn't make a difference. I used a lot of this stuff, the Hybrid Solutions Pro one and done compound. I also used a lot of Flawless Cut from Extreme Solutions. That's primarily what we used. And then to finish it, we had to use the Kosh Chemie purple pad here and their M302. This will finish down amazingly. So that's what we had to use. And we kind of did a two-step because we just had to. The paint was so bad. But as you can see, I mean, do you remember what it looked like before? Yeah, that's a huge improvement. Did we go a little overboard? Well, that just depends on each job. Some jobs are more difficult than others, especially with black, finicky paint like this. That's just, you know, what we had to do. But, I mean, as you can see, remember what it looked like before? Horrible, horrible swirliness, and now it is way better. Huge, huge improvement. Oh yeah. So it now looks incredible. It really does. And now it's protected. We coated it with XOV4, and tomorrow I'm going to put an application of C2V3 and we'll be good to go. But yeah, she's looking good now. Very, very glossy, and I would say the defects are about maybe 70-ish%, you know, give or take. There's some areas that are worse than others. But yeah, that's a huge improvement. So it is raining like crazy out. Huge storm that we're in the middle of. Looks like it's already starting to pass though. So hopefully tomorrow we'll get some sun shots and, you know, pull it outside and we'll see how it looks. But so far it is looking great. It was just annoying to deal with.